السلام عليكم ومرحبا وأهلا وسهلا بكم في درس جديد. Peace and hello and welcome to a new lesson in the top Arabic vocabulary course. And we're continuing. We've done a few episodes so far. We've done colors, shapes, family, and we've got as well food. We've done 3 episodes on food, so you can go back and watch these lessons. Today, we're continuing with places, common places in Arabic language. And in this course, I'm also going to help you wean off diacritics or short vowels as well. And just remind you that I've got this lovely Arabic word search book on Amazon with various topics and word search puzzles for you to learn from. 50 topics for beginners, and they're not just like the other word search books that you would find on Amazon's, which can be pretty random and for quite like advanced learners. What you will find here, for example, over here, we've got cooking verbs. You will find the cooking verbs, the words with the short vowels, is space for you in the middle to copy them, to practice writing, and then you'll find the English translation, and then you can actually take out the paper when you've done your word search, fold it in 3 sections, and you can practice reading without vowels if you like, if you copy them in the middle without the vowels. So that would be an excellent way for you to practice reading without vowels. You'll find a lot of useful vocabulary lists, like common verbs, food, drink, dessert, sweets, toys, transport, water animals, wild animals, domestic animals, home, furniture, accessories, clothes, human body, parts of the day, professions, places, different needs, legumes and grains, shapes, colors, countries, Arabic countries, herbs, spices, cooking verbs, space vocabulary, stationery, in school, in the office, the weather, and lots more. So all the important vocabulary that you need to know as a beginner, including the vowels, and a space for you to copy the words as well. So I really recommend that you get this book, and you can find it in Amazon. I'll leave the link in the description box and down below. لا تنسوا الضغط على زر الإعجاب. Don't forget to press the like button والاشتراك في القناة, and to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. والآن هيا نبدأ. Let's begin. الأماكن, places. So an easy trick for you to get familiar with what would sound as the name of a place in Arabic is there are typically certain templates or molds, literally. So something that fits with the pattern maf'al or maf'il or maf'ala. These are the most common ones. So maf'al, for example, like mat'am, maf'il, like manzil, maf'al also like maqha, maf'il like masjid, maf'al like madkhal, makhraj, and sometimes you also have maf'ala like madrasa, a school. Okay, so for beginners, we're just focusing on these common templates. Obviously, these are based on 3-letter verbs that are made of 3 letters, like darasa, madrasa, for example, and so on. But for advanced learners, there's a different way to derive as well names of places from verbs that are above 3 letters, which we're not going to go through now. But there's a specific lesson that I've gone through in details with directions, including like north, south, west, east, getting your place around, and names of, like right, left, names of countries and continents. So you can go back to that lesson. I'll leave the link again for like more advanced intermediate learners. Let's begin with our first set of vocabulary. منزل. منزل is basically another word for bait. منزل. And you can notice the meme in the beginning, like مفعل, منزل. So that fits with that mold or template. And you'll find that Arabic is such a logical language. Everything will tend to make sense once you get used to it. مقهى, you know, قهوة is coffee. مقهى is the place where you have قهوة, literally. طعام is food. مطعم is the place where you have food, so a restaurant. Masjid is the place where you do sujood. So that's the place where you do your prayer and you do sujood. Masjid. And there's also another name for masjid, which is jami' as well. Jami'. So you will have both names. In Lebanon, for example, we commonly say jami'. In other countries, they will say masjid. So it depends, but both mean a mosque. Okay. Madkhal is the place where you enter. So dakhala means to enter. دخل المعلم الصف. The teacher entered the classroom. Madkhal is the entrance or the point or place of entry. Now, kharaja is to go out. خرج المعلم من الصف. The teacher left the classroom. Makhraj is an exit or the place that you exit from. And notice the rhythm, the pattern. مفعل, مسجد, مدخل, مفعل, مخرج, مفعل. Okay, and maktaba, like madrasa. Maktaba is a library, the place where you literally read books, al-kutub, and where you study. Madrasa is the place where you study, and you might know the verb darasa, to study. Mudarris is a teacher. Madrasa is the place where you study. Kitab is a book. Katib is a writer. Maktaba is the place where you read books, a library. And also maktaba can mean something like where the little bookshelf that you keep at home, where you keep your books. Maktaba, like the bookshelf as well. So the place literally where you keep books. And maktab without the round ta at the end. Let me just write it down for you. So maktab actually means, that's gone. Maktab means an office. Maktab, or a desk. The desk where you sit and write or study. So maktab can mean an office. أنا أعمل في المكتب. I'm working in the office. Or you can refer to maktab as in the desk where you sit. Matar. We know that the verb tara is to fly. Ta'ira is an airplane. Ta'ir is a bird, literally. So matar is the place where things fly. Mahatta is a station. Hatta literally means to stop at a certain place. So mahatta is the place where, like, for example, train stops or a bus stops. So you can say mahattatul qitar, the train station. Mahattatul hafilat, the bus station. So if we write over here, mahattatul hafilat, the bus station. Hafila is a bus in the singular. Hafilat in the plural. Matjar, again, maf'al, matjar, is literally a shop. And you might know tijara in Arabic literally is commerce or business, tijara. Tajir is a merchant, tajir. Matjar is the place where commercial actions literally take place. Matjar, so literally a shop. مركز means a center. مركز, the center of something. So مركز تجاري commercial center. Commercial. And in previous lessons I've mentioned the year of attribution. So we know تجارة is commerce. تجاري commercial. So it's literally the suffix at the end. Like when you say أنا لبناني in the masculine or أنا لبنانية. The year of attribution means literally Lebanese, the ESE suffix at the end. So the same thing. Mahal is literally means a place. So mahal, and it's often a synonym of matjar. So you will also come across mahal. So matjar al-malabis or mahal al-malabis. You will come across both. Mahal literally means a place. Funduk is a hotel. Funduk, not funduk. Just be mindful of the qaf, the emphatic sound. Funduk. Mathaf is literally a museum, and where you display a tuhaf. Literally antiques or ancient objects. Tuhaf. Tuhfa in the singular. So mathaf is the place where you're displaying these items. Mathaf, again, maf'al. Burj is a tower. Burj, مثلا برج إيفل, برج خليفة في Dubai, if I'm not mistaken. So Burj is a tower. So not always names of places or common things obviously will rhyme with maf'al or maf'al, but in generally speaking. Jabal is a noun, and it means, so they can be nouns, not necessarily like in Arabic, ism makan, name of a place. Jabal is a mountain. Jabal, jibal in the plural. Write down in the comments the name of a mountain in your country. اكتبوا في التعليقات اسم جبل أو جبال في بلدكم, in your country. Bahr is sea, bahr. Shati is actually a beach, and often we say shati al-bahr. Shati al-bahr is a common term in Arabic. Oops, it's fun. Shati al-bahr. Shati al-bahr literally means the sea shore, literally, or the beach in short. So you can say ذهبت إلى الشاطئ أو ذهبت إلى شاطئ البحر. You can say both. So bahr is sea. Now buhaira is actually a lake. Buhaira. Buhaira. It would be interesting if you write down the names of lakes or beaches or mountains that are common or that are famous in your country. Balad, speaking of country, Balad is a country. Medina is a city. Qarya is a village. For example, Lebanon, Balad. Lebanon is a country. Beirut, Medina. Beirut is a city. And something else, X and X is a village, Qarya. So to ask, what country are you from? Or literally, from which country are you? من أي بلد أنت? So من أي بلد أنت أو أنت if you're asking a female. أي literally means what or which. For example, if I say أي كتاب قرأت, what book or which book did you read, literally. And they can say أنا من لبنان, أنا من نيجيريا, أنا من مصر, so on. أين تسكن? Where do you live? أين تسكنين? Addressing a female. أين تسكن؟ أين تسكنين؟ أسكن في مدينة بيروت, in the city of Beirut, for example. You add the name here. أسكن في قرية let's make up a name. لالا. قرية لالا, for example. If you want to say I live in the capital Beirut, for example, أسكن في العاصمة بيروت. عاصمة is capital. And the plural of بلد is بلاد أو بلدان. So in Arabic, often you'll have more than one plural. مكان is a place, and we also said earlier محل can mean a place or literally a shop. مكان, أماكن, places. سياحة means tourism, سياحة. And when we say مكان سياحي أو مكان سياحي, it's literally a touristic place. So the ya of attribution again. So we're adding the suffix. مكان سياحي, أماكن سياحية. Now in the feminine, like when we say أنا لبناني, أنا لبنانية, because in Arabic, non-human plurals will take a singular feminine adjective. So for example, كتب, books, علمية, scientific from علم, كتب علمية. كتب علمية. أو كتب جميلة. جميلة. So we don't say جميل أو جميلات أو whatever. We say كتب جميلة, singular, feminine. Same thing over here, أماكن, in the plural, non-human, we're going to say سياحية. And a tourist is سائح, just for your knowledge, سواح in the plural, tourists. Okay, let's say you want to ask someone, I'm asking you now to tell me what are the well-known touristic places in your country. For example, ما الأماكن السياحية المعروفة في بريطانيا أو في فرنسا أو في نيجيريا أو في تركيا أو في سوريا, etc. And just as in English you say there is, in Arabic you can say هناك. Obviously we don't use verb to be in the present, so we just say هناك. We don't have is, that means there, or literally there is. هناك فندق, فندق شيراتون, for example. هناك مكتبة something. هناك متحف اللوفر. هناك جبل something كليمانجارو, for example. هناك شاطئ something, name of a beach. هناك بحيرة, and followed by the name. هناك برج إيفل. هناك مطعم لا something. هناك حديقة, followed by the name. Okay, and آثار means literally a place where you will find ruins or relics. آثار, remains literally, or ruins. So this is a really good template. Notice that we use السياحية, touristic, معروفة, well-known. So we don't say معروف, we say معروفة, because it's the adjectives over here are singular feminine because we have the noun, which is non-human plural, أماكن. Okay, let's say we are lost. We're asking where is somewhere. أين محطة القطار? أين المطعم? And so on. How would we reply? I've got here a simple template for you. So the other person will use this, typically this kind of vocabulary. ثم means then. هنا, here, هناك, we've mentioned that it means there. And they can say اتجه, head. And you might know اتجاه is a direction. So اتجه, literally kind of like head in the direction of something. أو اتجهي in the feminine. Verb to walk, سار أو مشى. So you can say سر أو سيري, and you will find this very common. For example, if you live in the Gulf, like in the United Arab Emirates, they will say sir أو سيري. They use that quite often. In other countries, they might say imshi, walk as well. So ارجع, go back. ارجعي in the feminine. إلزم, stay. إلزمي, stay. For example, إلزم اليمين, stay on the right. أو إلزمي in the feminine. انعطف, انعطف, take a turn. انعطف. So انعطف يسارا, turn left. انعطفي يسارا, turn, sorry, I should do to the left probably. Okay, انعطفي يسار, but I think the video is kind of, it mirrors my reflection. So, okay, if you're watching, يسار, that's your left. إلى الأمام, to the front. You can say إلى الوراء أو إلى الخلف, to the back. So إلى اليمين, to the right. إلى اليمين, إلى اليسار, to the left. And when you want to say, you will find the shop there, or you'll find the restaurant there. تجد أو تجدين in the feminine. For example, تجد المطعم هناك أو تجدين المطعم هناك. مثلا, an example text, اتجه يمينا, head to the right. ثم انعطف يسارا, and then make a turn left عند الإشارة الضوئية. الإشارة الضوئية means the traffic light. الإشارة الضوئية. ضوء is light. ضوئية, again, of friend, yeah, of attribution. ضوئية. ثم, and then إلزم اليسار. إلزم اليسار, stay to the left or on the left. وعند الدوار, you might know دائرة is a circle, دائرة. So دوار أو مستديرة is literally a roundabout. Take the first exit. خذ المخرج الأول. اتجه يمينا ثم انعطف يسارا عند الإشارة الضوئية ثم الزم اليسار وعند الدوار خذ المخرج الأول. Let's practice. Okay, so we've got names of places over here. Pause for a second. Try to read them out loud. المطعم, المركز التجاري, محطة القطار, الحمام, المدرسة, المكتبة, الحديقة, السوق, المسجد, المقهى, مخفر الشرطة, المطار. أين المطعم؟ لو سمحت, for example, we're asking someone أين المطعم. They can say something like اتجه إلى الأمام أو اتجهي, addressing the female. ثم انعطف إلى اليمين أو انعطفي, addressing the female, إلى اليمين. ثم انعطف إلى اليسار أو انعطفي إلى اليسار وتجد المطعم هناك أو تجدين المطعم هناك, and so on. So you can practice with this template and go back and use your vocabulary. Okay, another template for airport. So if you're in the airport, for example, المطعم, السوق الحرة. السوق is literally سوق, so like a market. السوق الحرة, the duty-free shop, or حرة means free, literally. And if you're wondering why it's taking a feminine over here adjective, because سوق is considered often as feminine. It could be both, but we say السوق الحرة, assuming that it's feminine. محطة القطار, the train station. الحمام, toilet. المصلى is the place where you pray, the prayer room. So it's different from المسجد أو الجامع. هي مختلفة عن المسجد أو الجامع, but it's the like a room. It's not the entire, obviously entire mosque, but it's a prayer room. And you will find this often if you visit Arabic countries, which is really nice to have that prayer room. Transit, so you'll find it written in Arabic, or you'll find it written in different names such as مواصلة الرحلات أو متابعة الرحلات, and so on. Different names depending on the airport. القادمون literally means those who are arriving, so that's actually in the plural. The arrivers, literally, but in English you say arrivals. المغادرون, those who are leaving, literally, from verb غادر. So we say departures in English. باب is a door, باب. بوابة is a gate, بوابة, such as the gate that you find بوابة الحديقة, for example, in the park or in the garden. البوابة رقم 1, for example, أو 2. So number 1, number 2, then the gate number. المقهى, the coffee shop. الشرطة, police, and sometimes we say مخفر الشرطة as well. مخفر الشرطة, police station, literally. So let's try. Let's try and read without the vowels. I'm going to pause the screen here, give you a few seconds, see if you can read now without the vowels. Do you recognize these places? ما هذا؟ المطعم، أحسنتم. المركز التجاري. محطة القطار، أحسنتم. Obviously, الحمام, that was easy. المدرسة. المكتبة. الحديقة. السوق. المسجد. What was the other word for masjid? الجامع، أحسنتم. What was the word for prayer room? المصلى، أحسنتم. المقهى. مخفر الشرطة. A bit tricky to pronounce. مخفر الشرطة. مخفر الشرطة. المطار. Okay, let's try to read these ones again. المطعم. السوق الحرة. محطة القطار. البوابة, and then you followed by the number. مواصلة الرحلات أو transit. القادمون. المغادرون. المقهى, again الشرطة, أو we can say مخفر الشرطة. And I just wanted to include examples from everyday life, from websites, for example. متحف is the place where you display things or antiques or ancient things. For example, متحف التاريخ الطبيعي. تاريخ is history. طبيعي literally means natural, because طبيعة is nature. So طبيعي is natural. تاريخ means history. So Natural History Museum, for example, in Abu Dhabi. متحف التاريخ الطبيعي. And over here, تحف means antique. So متحف is the place where you're displaying antiques. معرض دبي. And often people will say معرض with the fatha, that's very common, although grammatically speaking, it should be معرض. But to be honest, most commonly people say معرض. So معرض or معرض, same thing. To be grammatically correct, معرض, the place where you literally display something, because عرض is verb to literally display. So معرض دبي, for example, Expo of Dubai. معرض فني. Fun is art, فني is artistic. So an art gallery or an artistic gallery, literally translating. معرض سيارات, a car showroom or gallery. So we're displaying cars. And you might know the verb غسل. So مغسلة, مفعلة again. So a car wash, مغسلة سيارات. And you might know laundry, مغسلة الثياب, for example, laundry. Challenge time, وقت التحدي. Now, let's see if you can read without the vowels. should be really easy now. And just to let you know, that's Chapel Wadi. I've written that for you. So try to read without the vowels. I'm going to give you a few seconds. I'm going to count 10 seconds. So, Ismi Muhammad. That should be really easy to read. Ana min, I think you probably guessed that country, Nigeria. أسكن في مدينتي كانوا في نيجيريا جبل Chapel Wadi, if I'm pronouncing it correct. So في نيجيريا جبل, a mountain that's called Chapel Wadi. The next text and the next challenge for you, let's read it together. Ismi Maha, that's an Arabic name, female name. Ana min, what country is that? Surya. Askunu fi, what word was that? Medina, Medinati, Paris. Fi, Paris. Burju, even. Wa, always the wow attaches to the next word. Unlike English, you'll have finger space between and the other word, but in Arabic, it's attached to the next word. Well, what was the word for the Museum of Louvre? Mathaf. Mathaf al-Louvre. Mathaf. شكرا لكم. شكرا للمتابعة. That was everything. So just to differentiate between متحف ومعرض. متحف mainly where you display antiques, ancient stuff. التحف معرض literally where you display other things, like for example it could be cars, any kind of showroom, could be like art. So that's basically the main difference. شكرا للمتابعة. Please don't forget to leave a comment, let me know what you think and if you have any questions. And before you go, another book for you is the Arabic writing practice, تمارين الكتابة. Let me just stop the share and literally show you تمارين الكتابة. So very useful with lots of vocabulary for beginners. Basically, that was my daughter scribbling there. So basically, you can analyze each word into the different letters and also combine later on, combine the words, and you've got as well short stories and the answers. So let's look at a practical example. So for example, for this set of letters, first you will have أنا أركب, أنا أحلل عفوا, I analyze. So firstly, you analyze, that is, you will break down the word into the letters. So for example, thum is 3 letters and so on, you can see over here. Then you're going to put together أركب, so the set of words that you've learned, you're going to put together. So you analyze and then you complete or put together. And then you'll have short stories for you to read and place the letters. Obviously, you're going to have the answers. And as you progress, it will get more difficult with each letter you learn. So when you're putting the words together, you will have less and less hints, should we say. So that's lots of useful vocabulary. Basically, all the vocabulary that you need to know as a beginner. And it's good to practice your writing and vocabulary skills, especially useful for beginners and for children especially. شكرا لكم وأراكم إن شاء الله في الفيديو القادم. في أمان الله ورعايته وحفظه. مع السلامة.